Aloha and welcome to the Murph's Place 808 for the Love of Golf podcast. I am your host, Murph. What is going on, people? Oh, man, has it been a wild ride here lately. A couple of things before we get started. We went to Thailand, obviously, and I was going to try to do remote podcasts over in Thailand, but I didn't want to lug around a lot of gear, and so I've now... With your guys' support, have purchased a new podcast recorder that I am able to take along with some headphones and mics and do a remote podcast. So that is due to you guys, obviously, supporting the podcast. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And like I told you guys before, all the support that you send in goes right back into the show. So I thank you guys for that. But we went to Thailand. We had a good time, and we'll get into that here in a couple of minutes. But I came back from Thailand a couple of weeks ago, and I went to do a podcast on Monday, and for some reason the power kept going in and out in the studio. So it would come on for a few minutes and then go off again. And it kept doing that like 5 or 6 times. So I didn't want to risk trying to start a podcast and having to start it over again and over and again and over again. So I apologize for that. And I did a podcast right before I left. And for some reason, I cannot find it. I don't know what happened to it. And, I have to correct a few things that I had said in the previous podcast before that one. But such as... I think I told you guys that Brent Grant, our Brent Grant watch on the Korn Ferry Tour, he was going for his PGA Tour card. And I think in the last podcast, I told you guys that he didn't get his card. That was based on the top 25, finishing in the top 25 of the money on the Korn Ferry Tour. But there was another way that he was able to get his card, and that was doing well in the Korn Ferry Tour Championship, which he did do. He did very well. And he ended up getting his PGA Tour card. So now our Brent Grant watch moves from the Korn Ferry Tour to the PGA Tour. And we'll get into that too. He's played a few events, and we'll get into those for a minute. But that does not stop our Korn Ferry Tour watch, because we have another local boy, Jared Sawada, had conditional status last year. And I don't know for a fact that he's going to play in the Q School coming up November 4th for the Korn Ferry Tour, but I'm pretty sure that he probably will. He did do well in the qualifying. He Monday qualified for the Shriners Tour, or Shriners Children's Open on the PGA Tour, and we'll get into that also in a couple of minutes. So call off the search parties, call off the dogs. I am here. I did not stay in Thailand. I know there's some people thinking I was going to stay in Thailand. There's no way I'd stay in Thailand. It's a beautiful country and great golf courses, but it is way too hot there for one. And it also is, it's still a third world country. Don't get me wrong. Everything is cheap there. The US dollar goes a long way in Thailand, but I don't want to live there. No, thank you. I love Hawaii. And this is where I'm going to be. This is where I'm staying. So, but anyhow, thank you guys. I'm sorry for the delay, but I'm back and the show will go on. Fia, nothing has changed. Joe P has won the belt, and there's no change in that. He's unstoppable. And I'm kind of disappointed that we haven't got the new members that I thought was going to give him a run for his money. They haven't been able to come out and play on Sunday. So, He's still got the belt, so he's not going anywhere. Mondays with the Beach Boys. They've been playing good. The membership has dwindled down. We got plenty of room, and I know I was contacted on the website here not too long ago by a guy that is interested in joining. And so yeah, if you guys are interested in joining, go to the website beachboysgolfclub.org. There's a spot there you can contact us. I will be posting. When we get the final schedule for next year finalized. It hasn't been finalized yet, but we do have a rough draft of what the schedule is going to be with a few minor changes. I will post that on the website under the schedule tab. So But if you're interested, contact us and we'll set something up. Come out and play with us on a Monday and see how it is. This Monday, tomorrow, they're going to play Mililani. They're not going to have a full field. Like I said, we've had several members kind of quit showing up. And so we have plenty of room for anybody else that would like to join. But they're going to play Mililani tomorrow. Now, myself and Dan and Troy will not be playing Beach Boys tomorrow. We're going to play our practice round out at Kaneohe Clipper for the Clipper Amateur that's coming up this week. It is the last tournament on the Hawaii State Golf Association schedule. There's one in Waikoloa, but it's on this same weekend. So, but anyhow, like I was saying, we went to Thailand and played the tournament. We played 5 days this time. I got to tell you guys something. The courses over there, I mean, there's nothing, and I'm not being, I don't know, I want to sound biased, but there is nothing on this island that compares to those courses over there, especially the facilities. The facilities is unreal. I mean, the locker rooms are top notch. The staff that's working there is some of the best that I've ever encountered. The golf courses are in great shape and challenging and fun and beautiful, beautiful scenery. It's just, I'll tell you, we played 5 days. We played 3 days in Pattaya. We played 2 days. Well, actually, we ended up playing a third day, but we played on the schedule was 2 days in Bangkok. And I got to tell you guys something. Bangkok is not my cup of tea. I can do without Bangkok at all. It's a big city. You know, Shep loved it. It's just not my cup of tea. Troy wasn't a big fan of it either, but it was all right. But I could have stayed the entire time in Pattaya and played there. And, you know, you not have to deal with all the city crap. And it was just, I don't know. I wasn't a fan. Was not a fan. But we ended up playing Siam Country Club, Old Course, Plantation, and then the Siam Country Club of Bangkok. All great courses. We played Chi Chan Resort, and we played, what was the other one? Royal Gem. Now, Royal Gem and Brian, who sets us up at Golf Asia, he came out and played with us. Well, he came out and hung out with us at Royal Gem. That's his home course. He's a member there, but it's pretty cool because all the holes are fashioned after like famous holes. Like you got Amen Corner from Augusta. You got the 18th hole at Scotland, in Scotland at St. Andrews. It was cool. It was really fun. So he came out, he had a hip injury or something, or a shoulder. So he smacked a few balls around. He didn't really play, but we had a good time and had fun. The weather was great. We only had 1 day, and that was the last day. We flew out late at night. So Troy wanted to go play this course called Nikotani in Bangkok. All the courses, we had about an hour drive each day we went and played. But this course, Nikotani, it's like one of the top rated courses in Asia. It is beautiful. And that was the course I played the best on. I didn't play great. I shot 80, 81, or 81, 80, 75, 73, and then I shot 72 the last day. So I was able to retain the belt. I kept my belt, the international championship belt. I kept the green jacket. We had a low net trophy this year. I ended up winning the low net trophy also. And we had got medallions for first, second, and third place. So I ended up with the first place medallion also. So it was a good trip, good tournament. Love playing golf there. It's so cheap. And like I said, they treat you like royalty over there. The staff and this Nikotani place, we got the caddies, and then the food. You could go in and eat lunch when you got there before you went and teed off, or after you came back from playing, you could go up and eat. It was included in the price, and it was just, you couldn't beat it. It was a really, really awesome time. That was the day it kind of rained a little bit, and it didn't rain hard. but there was lightning, and so they made us come in and for about a half an hour until the lightning went away. But all in all, it was a great day. We had fun. Don't know if we're going to be going back anytime soon. I kind of hope we take a year off and stay here so I can get all the tournaments I need to get in for the Senior Player of the Year run, so I can and try to win that this year, but we'll see what happens. Right before I left, I don't know if I reported this, but we played the Mayor's Cup, Hawaii State Golf Association tournament, and I ended up playing okay. I shot 70 the first day, 75 the second day. Got into a tie in first place with Mike Kawate, so we had to go to a playoff hole. We played the first playoff hole, and unfortunately, it kind of sucks because I want to win. If I'm going to win, I want to play. I want the guy that I'm playing to play his best. But Mike Kawate hit his drive left into the water, and then I hit my drive down the fairway. I hit my second shot on the green, had about a 7-foot putt for birdie, and then he hit his shot from the water. He hit his third shot onto the green, ended up 2-putting and made bogey, and then I made par to win. So I won the Mayor's Cup, the senior flight, which bumped me up into third place in the Player of the Year, Senior Player of the Year points standing. But Jonathan Oda he's got a big lead, so I don't think that's in danger. So we went to the next tournament was Maui Amateur, and I wasn't really signed up to play in that, but luckily I got in at the last minute and was able to go over. And thanks to Dan Messner, who was already over there, he ended up letting me room with him in his room, and so he picked me up from the airport. So it all worked out. So thanks to Dan. Thank you, Dan, for taking care of me while I was over there, so I was able to play. We played the Ka'anapali Kai course the first day, then we played the Royal course the second day. First day, I shot 76. Wasn't a great round. I had three putts and 2 double bogeys. And so the greens, I mean, from what I remember that course, I haven't played it for a while, but the greens were really grainy. There was a lot of, I hit a putt one time that was a short putt, and I thought for sure it was dead in the hole, and it broke hard right when it got to the hole. So really grainy, and but some guys didn't have a problem. You had Keith Anderson shot 2 under, and then Craig Steinberg shot 1 under. So we went to the second day at the Royal course. I played a lot better. I was 2 under going into 18, hit my drive down in the fairway, and like a dummy, I did not, play it safe, like left of the pin was tucked like over the water at the back right of the green. And what I should have done was just hit left over towards the front of the green, hopefully get on the green, a 2-putt for par. But no, like a dummy, I go at the pin, and because I didn't know what those guys were doing. I figured those guys were playing really good, and I figured I had to go under to have a chance to even, tie somebody or win it. And so I went at the pin, and I hit a little heavy, and it didn't reach. It went in the water. So I hit my second shot on. I end up 2-putting, made double bogey, which took me back to even par. And those guys shot like 78, 75. And so I ended up finishing 4th place in the senior gross, and I ended up winning first place in the senior net. So I ended up getting $120, bought a couple shirts and a hat. Gave me a few points, but moved me up into 3rd place. And now it just comes down to the last tournament. Like I said, there's no way we can catch either myself or Mike or Brandon Kopp. We can't catch Jonathan Oda because he's got too big of a lead. He's more than 250 points ahead of us. So I think Mike may have a chance, but I still think he's going to be if he wins this tournament and gets the 250 points, he's going to be just a little short of what Jonathan's at. And I'm not sure that Jonathan's not playing here in the Clipper Amateur, but he may be playing at the Waikoloa event. I'm not sure. I haven't seen or heard anything from that, so we'll see. But all in all, I'd like to focus on that next year. I'm not going to miss any tournaments. I missed 2 tournaments when I went to Thailand, so that hurt me as far as scoring points, and I want to try to win it next year, so I need to stay here and play every single tournament, and so we'll see what happens. Let's take a short break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's get into some PGA Tour news. Now, obviously, we have the new season of the PGA Tour going on right now. It started with the Fortinet Championship, September 14th through the 18th. They played that at the Silverado Resort and Spa course. Max Homa was the defending champion, and he defended his title with a little help from Danny Willett, a name that we haven't heard for a while since he had won the Masters a while back. Max chipped in for birdie on the last hole, and he only had to wait to see what Danny was going to do after hitting his approach shot on the par 5 last hole to about 4 feet. But unfortunately for Danny, he proceeded to 3-putt, and Max ended up winning. Max ended up shooting 16 under for the tournament and took home $1.4 million for his efforts. Danny Willett finished at 15 under and took second place, and Taylor Montgomery shot 13 under to wrap up third place. Man, that has to hurt. 4 feet, and you 3-putt from that distance. And you let a tournament get away from you. That has to be eating him up for that to happen. And you don't want to lose that way. 3-putting from 4 feet. Next up after that was the President's Cup, September 22nd through the 25th at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we all know now that the U.S. team won 17.5 to 12.5 points. Man, but what a show those guys put on. I'll tell you what, Siwoo Kim beating Justin Thomas 1-up after birdieing 18. And Sebastian Munoz beating Scotty Scheffler 2-1. Those 2 matches surprised a lot of people. Those guys were putting that Tom Kim, that guy, holy cow. He's got some game, and he's done well since since the President's Cup. He's played pretty well in the other tournaments he's played. But Max Homa, he went 4-0-0, and man, what a captain's pick! He was a captain's pick, and what a great showing for that rookie. Jordan Spieth ended up being named the MVP of the U.S. team. He went 5-0-0. Of course, Jordan played well. After the President's Cup, the guys were at the Country Club of Jackson in Jackson, Mississippi for the Sanderson Farms Championship. And your winner after a 3-hole playoff was Mackenzie Hughes, who he made birdie on the 3rd playoff hole, which was hole number 18. And that was the playoff holes over Sepp Straka. Gary Kigo of South Africa finished 3rd place. That also was Mackenzie's 2nd win on the PGA Tour. Then after that, we had the Shriners Children's Open, October 6th through 9th at TPC Summerlin in Las Vegas. Tom Kim continued his good play from the President's Cup, shooting 24 under to win over Patrick Cantley, who shot 21 under and came in tied for 2nd place with Matthew Nesmith. This was Kim's 2nd win on the PGA Tour, and he is the first player since Tiger Woods to win twice before turning 21 years of age. Just as impressive as winning the tournament, he also was bogey-free for the week, and that is a feat in itself. I've come close to it playing in a tournament. I take that back, not in a tournament. Playing a round of golf, I've come close to being bogey-free, but I end up screwing it up every time I'm close. So that is a feat to go all 4 days bogey-free is amazing. Just as big as the win. We had the Zozo Championship after that and that was at the Accordia Golf Narashimo Golf Club in Chiba, Japan. Keegan Bradley was your winner, shooting 15 under and winning by one shot over Ricky Fowler and Andrew Putnam. This was Keegan's 5th win on tour and his first in just over 4 years. He took home just a little under $2 million. And the tournament that they just finished up this week was the CJ Cup in South Carolina at the Congaree Golf Club in Richland, South Carolina. Your defending champion in that tournament was Rory McIlroy. And the power rankings for that tournament ended up being correct because they had Rory McIlroy listed as number 1 as winning this tournament. And that's exactly what he did. He defended his title in the CJ tournament. So congrats to Rory defending your title and winning that. Okay, so what I was saying was the Brent Grant watch obviously has moved from the Korn Ferry Tour to the PGA Tour since he has gotten his PGA card for this year. And he has played in a few events. The very first event, the Fortinet Championship, he ended up shooting 72-72, even par, and missed the cut by 4 shots. Sanderson Farms, he shot 79-71. He missed the cut there by 9 shots. Excuse me. The Shriners Children's Open, he shot 71-69 and just missed the cut by 2 strokes. He shot 2 under and still missed the cut by 2. So he's getting better. He's improving. I think he's getting more comfortable. And I tell you, we got to get him on the show, and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. It's just a matter of trying to find some free time when he's available. Now, his next tournament that he's going to be playing is the next event, the Butterfield Bermuda Championship. He is in the field. I do not have a tee time. They'll list those a little later in the week. Do not have a tee time for him, but he will be playing that tournament in the Bermudas. So good luck to Brent. Man, he is, I'm telling you, I think he's going to get a win on the PGA Tour this year. I'm telling you, he is that good. He is definitely that good. And if you guys saw his, on the lost episode that I cannot find, I know I talked about it, but, I was sitting here watching him on, the Golf Channel. He was playing their Korn Ferry Tour Championship, and he was on fire. The guy was just hitting shots. He had a shot like 205 or 210 out, hit a 5-iron to like 4 feet. It was crazy. And I'm sitting here, and a mutual friend of ours, Brent Hobby, Brent caddied for him in the Sony Open when he comes and then plays in the Sony Open. Brent has caddied for him. And I was sitting here watching this, and I thought, man, I should text Brent Hobby and see if he's watching our boy, seeing what he's doing. And I swear it wasn't like a minute, 2 minutes at the most later, Brent Hobby texted me and said, "Hey, are you watching this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm watching this, dude. It's crazy." And we got so fired up, me and him. I told him, I said, after Brent made that birdie, he made like a 30-foot birdie on 18. He didn't need to. He was still going to get his card, but he made that putt. And I swear my neighbors probably thought that I was killing somebody in here because the way I was hooping and hollering and yelling, it was crazy. I was so pumped up and so jacked. The feeling and it's not even me getting the tour card, it's him, but the feeling that I had for him, like the excitement and I was just so jacked. I was so jazzed up that my neighbors probably thought I was killing somebody in here because I was going off so bad. And Brent Hobby said the exact same thing. So I'm going to get Brent Hobby on here. He's done some caddying, and I want to get him on here, and we'll get Brent Grant hopefully on the same call. I'll get him on a call in while Brent's here doing the show. So, but yeah, congrats to Brent making the PGA Tour. I'm so happy for him. I was, like I said, you would have thought I got my PGA Tour card the way I was, the feeling that I had for him. And Brent Hobby felt the same way. So, but I'll get both those guys on this show. So obviously our watch on the Korn Ferry Tour isn't over because we do still have one local boy. They're playing Jared Sawada. And And Jared actually Monday qualified for the Shriners Children's Open tournament here that just occurred not too long ago. And I'll tell you, he played the Monday qualifier and he shot, I want to say it was like 11 under. Yeah, because I got a text. That day that it was going on, and they were like, "Hey, check out the boy Jared. He's 13 under." So he was 13 under at one time, and but he ended up shooting 11 under, shot a 61 to earn a spot in the tournament. He then went on to shoot 77, 72 to miss the cut by 8 strokes. But hey, congrats on qualifying, Jared. It's what a great score to get in and qualify with. Unfortunately, he didn't have a great 2 rounds to make the cut, but he's another one that's got a lot of mad game too. So we'll keep our eye on Jared in the Korn Ferry Tour and see what happens. But let's take another short break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned for new albums from Smart Boy artists C Money Baby and Picasso. In the meantime, grab some new summertime merch like swimwear, shorts, slides, and more. Head to www.smartboystudios.com to stay up to date on new music, new videos, new merch, and any upcoming events. All right, welcome back, everybody. So like I said, I apologize for the absence. Not getting a show out to you guys, but like I said, things have calmed down now, and bar any other mechanical or power issues, the show will go on, and hopefully, like I said, I'll have some new guests on coming for you. I've got some new gear, so I'm able to do some remote kind of podcast stuff and interviews with a couple of guys that I want to get on the show, but they don't live close to the studio, so I will get those guys on the show, get those interviews out, and get the podcast out. I appreciate your guys' support. If you'd like to support the podcast, please go to the Anchor or hit the support button there. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions or topics you want me to discuss, please shoot me an email at merceplace808@gmail.com, and we'll talk about those, get those things covered. We'll have a couple of rule stuff coming up here in the near future. There's been some questions about some things, and I'll get those out. The VGA Tour is starting their new season, so if you're interested in playing, it's competitive golf, but it's not so much that it's like there's some things that are a little bit different as far as the rules go. We have some local rules that are a little bit different than the USGA rules, and if you're interested in that, go to VGA.org, I believe it is, and you can sign up there, and Wade Kava is running it now, I believe. He's the temporary president. Richard Shepard stepped down as director, so I believe that Wade has taken things over. But I missed the first couple because they're scheduled during the Hawaii State Golf Association tournaments, and that's a tough thing to do when you're trying to make a schedule up, and you kind of got to be aware of what the Hawaii State Golf Association tournament is doing, because those tournaments, a lot of guys are trying to play in those tournaments to earn points for Player of the Year and that kind of stuff. And so if you got to make sure you don't schedule tournaments on the same days that Hawaii State Golf has their tournaments, because the majority of guys, like I said, are going to go play the Hawaii State Golf stuff. But he's doing a good job so far. And like I said, I missed the first couple. I was gone for one of them, and then the other one was scheduled the same weekend we were in Maui. But anyhow, I appreciate your guys' support. And like I said, I'll get things going on a regular basis again. Not so much hit and miss and not here and there. So this week, like I said, I'm doing this show on Sunday, so we won't have anything Monday. Like I said, I'm playing a practice round at the Clipper for the Clipper Amateur next week. But I'll let you guys know how it goes this week with the tournament. 3-day tournament, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And like I said, I don't think, I know I can't reach first place, but maybe I can get ahead of Mike in the points and end up in second place. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. They're all good players. Mike Coate is one of the better players, senior players. Him and Brandon Kopp. Jonathan Oda is right up there. I mean, we have a lot of good players in the senior event. And for those guys that are on my case about playing senior and not playing championship, listen, I cannot compete with those young guns, high school kids. I can't do it. Those guys are shooting under par every round. There's no competing against that. And I'm older. I don't hit it as far as those guys do anymore. So get off my case. All right, guys. I hope everybody has a good weekend. If you are playing golf, hit them straight, hit them long, but don't hit them very often. Aloha, everybody.